Greetings, comic book friends. Wednesday, time for TGIW. Thank God it's Wednesday. We have a nice balanced week after the extreme pendulum swings of way too big and really small. We have something right in the middle. So last week, one of my followers had made a guess of how many books I would have this week, and I don't know how to put it. Well, let's see. Their guess was 6, and I'm gonna give them. This was Too Many Hobbies. I'm gonna give them a honorable mention, I suppose, on it because it should have been 6, but it wasn't, and we will see why in a second. But it was a very good guess because it probably should have been 6. But it ends up being 8. So what were the 2 extra things that I picked up that I normally would not have gotten? Well, we'll see. So first of all, we live the age of Polydions, or I think it's Polydions. So the last time I got this and talked about it, I believe my stance was I have no idea what's going on in this book, and that hasn't changed. I don't have any idea what's going on in this book. Every time I read it, I'm like, all right, what can I pick up out of context? And it doesn't work. So I don't know if I need to go back and read the first, We Live and start with this over again to try to just put it all together, but I usually don't know what I'm reading here. So either I need to do that or just decide to cut it because, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not getting enough out of it to put things together. I don't know. But that might have to get cut if I can't, I don't know, figure out what I'm reading in the first place. Next up is Batman. So this should be the beginning of a new arc because I think that the Deathstroke stuff that was crossing all the Batman books is over. Thankfully, and I only caught a couple pieces of that from Batman and what was in Robin, I think. The only thing that I kind of got out of that, spitting out of that, is that Batman Inc. is going to have its own book, and actually I've really, really liked the Batman Inc. stuff that I kind of caught out of that series or that storyline. So I might pick Batman Inc. up once it comes out. I am pretty interested in that. But aside from that, curious to see where we're going to go with the new arc in Batman. It also looks like we're continuing the backup story. This time there's a Poison Ivy backup story called Photosynthesis. So we'll see. I'm glad I'm no longer getting just little parts of a story with that death of Deathstroke or whatever that Deathstroke thing was. I don't know how it ended. Is Deathstroke actually dead? I don't know. I didn't read the whole thing. I didn't read the end of it, certainly. So I don't know. I guess someone let me know if Deathstroke is dead. I'm guessing he's not. Amazing Spider-Man 3. I've been liking this so far. This gang war between Tombstone and the Rose, who is the Kingpin's son. Something Fisk. I forget. Charlie Fisk. Is it Charlie Fisk? I don't remember his name. But it's the Kingpin's son, the Rose. Spider-Man kind of triggered it by making Tombstone look weak. And in the last issue, Spider-Man ended up in a very precarious position, or he's not in good shape. So far, this Zeb Wells run has been good, story-wise at least. I wasn't worried about it. I liked the Zeb Wells stuff from the previous volume of Spider-Man in Beyond, when he was kind of picking up issues here and there. I like Zeb Wells. He's doing a good job. Again, I'm not a big fan of the art. I don't like the current John Romita Jr. stuff. Or what his style has been for a long time now. But the story is good, and I can kind of look past it. Thor number 26. So we're getting towards the end of Banner of War. This is part 4. I think it's a 5-part series. Spoiler alert, I guess. The cover here spoils it. We have a hulked out Thor. This feels very Donny Cates-ish, right? Like this is what Donny Cates likes. He likes these like little ideas like, oh man, what if Thor was hulked out? And he tries to come up with some big story around just like getting that little tiny slice of an idea out, where the rest of the story around it may not be that great, right? What if Mjolnir was a living entity? We got this whole God of Hammers story arc where the story wasn't actually that good. It was just a whole story around this one idea that kind of seemed cool. Here we go again. So, once Banner of War is done, again, I'm going to review whether or not I want to stick with both Thor and Hulk until Donny Cates is off it, I suppose. Dogs of London number 2. I picked up the first issue, I think, on a light week, and I enjoyed it, so I decided to add it. So issue number 2 came out. So it's about these gangsters, this gang, previous gang leader. Man, I had a long day yesterday, and an early morning today. This gang leader who kind of wants to put his gang days behind him, but something sort of weird happened. Don't know if it's a paranormal sort of thing, but basically the bodies of some old friends of his got dug up or exhumed, and the bodies looked exactly like they did the day that they died, like when they were alive, and they don't understand what's going on. So a gang in London, weird stuff going on. Peter Milligan, I've historically liked his stuff, so I decided to go ahead and pick it up. And these Aftershock, books are usually 4 to 6 issues long, so I figured get a good story out of it and enjoy it. I picked this up off the shelf. I did not know this was coming out, but I could not resist. Aquaman Andromeda. I really like the Black Label stuff. The vast majority of them that I've read, I've overwhelmingly liked. I think there was one Harley one that I didn't super care for, which, to be fair, I shouldn't have got it in the first place because I don't really care about Harley Quinn. But I think I got that back when I was like, I'm going to get everything Black Label, and I decided that was a dumb idea, so I stopped doing that. So I pick and choose the ones that I like, the ones that I think that I like, that are centered around characters that I know that I enjoy. The Wonder Woman stuff has been great. The other history of the DCU was phenomenal, and I am a huge Aquaman fan, so when I saw there was a Black Label Aquaman, I jumped at the chance. I want to see what the Black Label treatment that he gets, and it's Ram V. I really like Ram V. He's currently writing Swamp Thing, and he's done some other stuff. I've always enjoyed his work, so I saw that like, oh yes, absolutely, I need to get that. So I'm super excited to read that. So that's the 6 that normally I just would have gotten, right? And this I picked up off the shelf. This is true. But, I mean, I obviously would have picked this up off the shelf. There's no question. I just didn't know that it was coming out. I've been sorely lacking on my previews, or going through previews as I get them. The other 2 things that I got, and this I had been seen not previewed, but I'd seen advertisements for, and I'd planned on getting it, and I suppose that I missed it until this week, was the return of Savage Avengers. I really liked Savage Avengers, the first Savage Avengers. I stopped reading it at some point, not because I didn't enjoy it, but because I had to cut things. I just had to absolutely cut things. And as much as I was enjoying Savage Avengers, I wasn't as tied to the characters, mainly Conan, right, has always been the main character. I wasn't as tied to Conan as other things I didn't really want to drop. So I ended up dropping Savage Avengers. When I saw it was returning, I thought about, like, you know what? I think it was the right call at that time to drop it. But I did really enjoy those stories. And when I saw at least this initial lineup that we have, I mean, Deathlock, awesome. Elektra, Daredevil, I love. I love Cloak and Dagger. I've read pretty much all of their stuff. And Weapon H, I have to at least try it out. So I saw today issue 2 came out, and like, oh crap, I didn't realize that Savage Avengers was out. So luckily at the shop they had one last copy of Savage Avengers 1 on the shelf. So I picked up Savage Avengers number 1 and 2. Which I should have picked up. I should have picked up 1 before. I missed it. So these are kind of the weird things that I picked up this week. That put me from 6 to 8, which means that Too Many Hobbies was not correct with how many books I picked up. These, if people watching along probably could have guessed that these were books I would have gotten, because I subscribed to the first 5, and I'm obviously going to pick up the Aquaman Black Label. If he's going by that, he did very well. I threw a curveball in there by picking up Savage Avengers 1 and 2. But well played, sir. Well played. But that is it. A nice, again, 8 books is like the perfect sort of area. I'm not too worried about picking up Savage Avengers. I did drop Venom. I feel like there's something else that I dropped. I dropped Crossover. Because I gave that book more than its fair chance. I think I liked the idea of the book more than I liked the book itself. That first big arc ended with issue 13. It looks like it's going to be doing a whole other arc, and I can't do it, so I dropped that. So, and then who knows about Thor and Hulk? If I drop those, I'll be completely out of Donny Cates, which isn't the worst thing in the world. I'm done with him. So picking up Savage Avengers wasn't a hard thing to do, because I think overall my weekly average has been where I want it to be. I dropped 2 books, might be dropping 2 more, might be dropping a third with the We Live thing, I don't know. I did pick up the Aquaman Black Label, but I know that's limited. I don't know how many issues that's for. Let me know in the comments if you happen to know off the top of your head. But that Black Label stuff, I don't know. I almost don't count it. I mean, I should count it. So I guess I did pick up a limited, but it is a limited, and I definitely dropped 2 ongoings. So picking up an ongoing and a limited seems like I'm still ahead. Anyway, I'm definitely to Rambling Point right now. Let me know how you did. Let me know your thoughts on how I did here. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Hit the notification bell, and of course, don't forget to make yours Titan. This video was brought to you by Titan Comic Pressing. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Titan Comic Pressing LLC.